financial planning checklist after divorce. Divorce is an unexpected and unfortunate event in any family. But if it happens, that can put not only the personal life, but also the financial life of a person completely upside down. Richard Wagner says, divorce is one of the most financially dramatic things you can go through. Money spent on getting mad or getting even is money wasted. So, immediately after divorce, what will be on the minds? What questions may be popping up for which you have to find an answer? You may have doubts, questions, or queries like how to gain financial stability after divorce, how to recover from the heavy cost of divorce, how to support your children after divorce, how to separate the joint financial investments you and your ex-spouse have, how to support your ex-spouse's alimony payment. These may be the questions in your mind. Let us try to find answer for all these questions in this video. Hi, this is Ramalingam, Certified Financial Planner from holisticinvestment.in. We help individual investors like you to take a right financial and investment decision. What are we going to see in this video? 9 important points which are more relevant for a divorcee. That will help anyone who went through a divorce recently has to attend. This will give them clarity. This will give them direction. This will help them bring things under their control much faster. Fine. First thing, financial after effects of divorce. After divorce, your personal budget becomes completely messy, not under your control. Generally, it is hard to keep track of your income and expenses. You are not in a mind to list down what are all your expenses, list down what are all the income you are going to earn and what you are going to spend. You are not in a mind to do it, but this is the time you have to bring things under your control. Bring things under control step by step. It is difficult to bring everything under control immediately, but somewhere you have to start. The first place to start is actually to check your income and expenses. This includes your current income and expenses and also projected income and expenses for the next 6 months to 1 year. That will give you an idea where you actually stand financially. Right? That will help you, build a strong foundation for your financial stability. You try to maintain a record of where your money actually goes. Earlier, some of the fixed expenses like rent, car, and other things are shared between you and your spouse. Now, both of you have to separately incur rent, car expenses, and other membership expenses. You have to do it separately. That way, you are the only person who is going to pay for your rent, other membership expenses, car-related expenses, other expenses similar to this. Earlier, this was shared by your spouse. Now it is not going to be. So, try to cut down on discretionary expenses so that you will have surplus to manage these things. So, First thing, bring your income and expenses under your control. That is the first step you have to start with. If you bring this thing under your control, rest of the things slowly will fall in place. Second point, untangling assets. You may have joint assets with your spouse. It may be jewels, it may be property, it may be a car, it may be investments in mutual funds and shares, it may be bank accounts. Now is the time to list down all joint investments, joint properties, joint fixed assets and joint financial assets, list down and create a plan to separate them. If you have a joint property, who's going to own what? Whether the other person has to pay money to you or you have to pay money to the other person to divide the assets. Create an agreed ratio by which you will be separating the assets. Close joint bank accounts with your ex-spouse. Most of us have joint bank accounts with our spouse. Either close the joint bank account and open a bank account in single name, that is your name, or like delete the second applicant who's your spouse. Right? All these things list down and do it. Create a spreadsheet, list down all the joint assets and do the action item. How are you going to divide and how are we going to make changes in the records by deleting a person's name, by giving money to other person? What is the procedure that needs to be carried out? Do this. Without doing this at this point in time, still if you continue with joint accounts and joint investments, later on it can create a problem. Don't leave it unsolved. If you are not solving this at this point in time and continuing it as a joint, you are basically postponing the problem. Instead of postponing the problem, let us face the problem. That is the way to bring things under your control. Otherwise, things will still out of your control. That will put more stress on you. In the previous slide itself, we discussed partially about joint property. But again, joint property is a major thing. That's why I have added this as another action item. If you have a joint property, you and your ex-spouse could have lived together in that property. But now you are not going to live together in the same space. Either you are going to live or your ex-spouse is going to live there. If you have loan on that, how that is going to be settled? Who's going to own the property? Then who's going to settle the loan? Then on what basis you are going to settle it? If your spouse is going to own the property, then like how much is he has to settle on behalf of that property? Or if you are going to own that property, how much you are going to settle to him? Also, you need to understand how much you have to settle to your banker to close the loan over a period of time. All these things you have to assess and take a decision. Fourth point, joint loan. In addition to property, do you have any other loan? It can be a car loan, it can be personal loan, it can be jewel loan. If it's a joint loan or if it is an education loan on your kids, then who's going to settle it? Either you are going to settle it or your ex-spouse is going to settle it. Decide the terms and conditions. Or if you both are going to settle it, on what ratio you are going to settle it. That needs to be decided. These are all small things. Once you discuss with your ex-spouse and close it, once you come to an agreement, you will have a very peaceful afterlife. Otherwise, the after effect of divorce will continue for a longer time frame. You will not be able to move forward in your life. Find a solution so that life will move on. Otherwise, you will get stagnated. Revising the financial roadmap. This is an important step which you have to do. Revising the financial roadmap, because earlier you had a joint roadmap, right? Where are you financially, and you want to clear your loan, your kids' education, your retirement, or no, as a couple. This was the earlier roadmap. Now, this roadmap would have changed because some of the milestones, some of the responsibilities your spouse has taken care. Now you have to take care of only few milestones and few goals. Some goals you both may have to take it. You have to plan for your retirement. Your spouse has to plan for his or her retirement. So now, earlier you had a combined roadmap. Now you have to divide it and create an individual separate roadmap. Because you have a separate roadmap, now you have to customize it based on your cash flow. How much savings you already have, how much savings you can bring in till your assumed age of retirement. Right? Take that cash flow and what are all the milestones you have got. Earlier, when you both were creating a roadmap, because it was a combined roadmap, some of the things could have been shared, some of the things you could have avoided. Suppose if you are someone who's interested to travel around the world, or you are someone who's interested to have pilgrimage all over India, then those things you could have avoided when you were creating giant roadmap for some reasons. Now you want included because you have time and you have got your own interest to do it. Now create a customized roadmap. Right? From now to your retirement to life expectancy, you have to create a customized roadmap for you. That roadmap will give a 360-degree perspective. This roadmap will give context to any of your financial and investment decisions from now on. Say like when you have a Google map, it immediately tells you how you can move from here to there. Similarly, when you have a roadmap, how you are going to navigate to reach your financial goals in future, this financial roadmap is what going to guide you. So customize this roadmap now. That will give a lot of confidence. Okay, this is how my financial future is going to look like and how am I going to achieve it step by step. So it gives you a lot of confidence. It is like when you drive with Google Maps, it is much easier. When you don't drive without Google Map, you have to depend on somebody on the road, check here and there. It slows down your travel, and also it makes you less confident when you are driving. Similarly, when you create a financial roadmap, it will make you more confident and you will be able to take much faster and smarter financial decisions. Assess your risk tolerance level. Earlier, like you may be having better risk-taking appetite because you are a diversity now, and your family relies only predominantly on your income. So your income has come down by 50%, 60%, or 40%. To that extent, your risk-taking appetite also would have come down. Right? So your risk tolerance may be depending on your assets, your liabilities, your financial goals, your available time frame, how much time you have till retirement, and how much time every day I'm ready to spend in revenue generating activity like going for an employment or doing a freelancing work, or do I have to take care of kids. All these things like gives you idea on what kind of risk to take. Also, as a person, because of the uncertain event that has happened in your life, that could have changed your mindset. Earlier, you may be an aggressive risk-taking investor. Now, you could have become a very conservative, risk-avoiding investor. So, you have to reassess your risk profile now. With the help of your financial planner, you can do this exercise. Revamp the insurance cover. This is the seventh important point. When I talk about insurance cover, I am meaning two things. One is your life cover as well as your health cover. Health cover, suppose if you are a housewife and your husband is working for some company, this company could have covered you and your kids earlier. And now you have got separated and you got you are after divorce, you cannot rely on that health cover. Now you have to rely on your own separate health cover. You need to go for a separate health insurance. So after divorce, is there a health insurance requirement for you separate? Earlier, you maybe had a family health cover. Now, who owns that health cover? Either you or your spouse. If you are owning that health cover policy, then you may have to delete your spouse's name from there. If your spouse is owning that health insurance, he or she may delete your name. So you have to take a separate health cover for you. So for you and your financial dependents, do you have a separate health cover? That you have to assess. And term insurance. Earlier, you may be a housewife, like taking care of the family. Now, because of the situation will change, you may be going to work. Your income earning capacity has gone up now. Because of that, life cover is needed. You have to increase your term insurance cover as well. So together, health insurance and term insurance requirement reassess. Right, based on like kids dependency and other financial dependence, you have to decide these things. Again, when you are going for life cover, please select only pure term insurance policy. Don't fall prey to any endowment money back ULIP kind of policies. These endowment money back ULIP policies helps only agents or relationship managers to meet their target. It will not help you meet your financial objectives or target. Please remember that. Raising the kids, like you have divided, assets and liabilities. Also, you have to divide responsibilities. Who's going to take care of the financial requirements of the children? Who's going to take care of the day-to-day requirements of the children? You have to decide. If you are someone who's going to take care of the financial requirements of the kids, then like you may have more time at your disposal because the family is not depending on you to spend time with you, right? So you can spend more time on the job and you can involve yourself in more revenue generating activity. Suppose if you are someone who wants to take care of the kids for their day-to-day requirements, like dropping them in the school, picking them in the school, attending parent-teachers meeting, you have to spend quality time with the kids. Then in that case, that responsibility may not allow you to take a 9-to-5 job. But if you have an employment that gives you flexible working hours, that can work. If there is an employment that is part-time, that can help. If you are someone who's got enough skills to do a freelancing activity, again, that can help. So address these things from financial perspective. You may have to redesign your career based on how these responsibilities are shared. So decide these. Accept this at a particular level. It's like now on, I have to take care of the kids. I will spend more time with the kids. So my working hours will be completely different from others. If you are not able to accept that, then the daily life becomes a mess. Plan it accordingly. Next point is filling the vacuum. All said and done, divorce brings a huge vacuum in the life of the divorcee. Though the couples argue that after divorce, like I got a lot of peace of mind, I'm applying for divorce to gain peace of mind. Actually, after divorce, there's a huge emptiness. The intimacy is not there. Intimate feelings you may not be able to share it with people. That brings a huge vacuum in the life of someone who got divorced. Because there is an emptiness, there is a vacuum in the life. To fill that vacuum, to fill that emptiness, people go for shopping. People do impulsive spending excessively. Hotels, parties, tours, all these things needs huge money to be spent. Under stress, under pressure, you may be ready to spend momentarily, but later on you will regret. So to avoid that, list down things where you can spend enough time to relieve your stress without money or with less money. Maybe you have a hobby, you want to do a course, you want to attend meditation class. All these things can relieve your stress at the same time cost effective, not spoiling your health, not like giving you a temporary solution, giving you permanent solution with less money, and also it builds your self-esteem. Involve in those kind of activities instead of simply going to hotels, parties, and shopping. That will not only spoil your financial health and also your physical health. Later on, that brings a huge impact on your financial health. So consciously have a plan to fill the emptiness. Accept first that there is going to be kind of emptiness in my life. How am I going to manage that emptiness? Have a clear action plan. Otherwise, that can disturb and destroy your financial future. Hope these points could have added some clarity to you. Though this has given you clarity, only if you act on it, that clarity will be permanent. Otherwise, that will be temporary. So please rewatch this video, list down all the 9 points, also list down action items towards all the 9 points, and do the action items one by one. That will help you have a new beginning in your life. This will minimize the negative financial impact in the long run. Also, this will empower you in leading a complete personal financial life. If needed, you can look for assistance with a professional financial planner who can create a complete financial roadmap after divorce. If you are looking for any suggestion, or you think you discuss with a certified financial planner, he can help you give more clarity and direction. Feel free to book an appointment with one of our certified financial planners, and it is completely free. The link for free appointment booking is given below this video in the description. We regularly organize insightful investment webinars with investment experts. If you want to participate in those webinars for free, I have given you one more link in the video description. Please click that webinar link and leave your name and email ID. We will book the seat for the next upcoming webinar and send you the invite. Hope you like this video. If you think someone can get benefited from this video, please share it to them via social media. I'll again meet you in yet another useful video. Thank you. Bye-bye.